So is predictive bidding the future for Amazon and Walmart sellers?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think if you're not using AI in all parts of your business, you're missing out. With the bidding side, it has to be predictive AI.
Why is predictive AI such a big focus of ours right now?
Yeah, so for two reasons. So one is predictive AI is what truly allows a human being to scale, right? So at some point, you have to still finagle all the levers to figure out what your right bid is, unless, of course, you have a technology that predicts what the right bid is before it happens. And if you're reactive, you're always going to be second guessing. Well, did I do the right thing? Do I have to tweak it? And so that's a challenge. The other challenge on the reactive piece is you have to wait to see what worked or didn't work in the past, and then you're reacting to it in the future. But as we all know, Amazon, Walmart, all of the marketplaces are so volatile with different peak hours, with different seasonality, especially on sale days. It's just insane to be able to predict that without a machine. So the predictive AI takes you from a reactive seller into a proactive seller who's really owning their own destiny.
I think a question for people who are watching might be, does the predictive AI actually work? Like, can you actually predict? We're talking about predicting the future in a way, and being able to tell sellers this is what you can expect to happen in the future. Does it actually work?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, so we've actually done as part of many times when a customer is looking to switch to Teikametrics, they're trying to understand how our system would work. And so what we do is we actually take all of the bids that you've done over the last 60 days, and we plot where your actual bids are, and then we plot where we believe your ideal bid should be. And you see this like insane scatter chart where there's some things you're underbidding, some things you're overbidding. And it's really just shows the inefficiency of a rules-based, reactive-based system. And so we prove this time and time again with our existing customers. And so it's interesting because when we compare against the recommended Amazon bids, we outperform those all day, every day. When you perform against rules-based reactive bidding, we outperform those all day, every day too. And so the great part about our process when you're exploring us as a partner is you can do an opportunity analysis or an audit. We will literally show you where you have been, where you would be with us, and then we can show you where you're going to be.
So is predictive bidding the future for Amazon and Walmart sellers?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think if you're not using AI in all parts of your business, you're missing out. With the bidding side, it has to be predictive AI. The other area that I'm really excited about, where we're going to launch into predictive AI in the next year, is around our inventory optimization. And so what we're working on is a product launch into early 2024, which we're going to be able to predict 6 months in advance when you're going to be out of stock, or when you're going to have a surplus of stock, and you're going to have to liquidate. And the reason we can do that is one is we have, again, a massive amount of data, a lot of historical data for inventory, COGS, and ads data. And so we know what are the different factors that play into when your inventory is going to be out of stock or surplus. And what we found is a whole host of factors, but a primary factor is actually what you're doing on the advertising side. And so if we're the ones who are helping to recommend and control your advertising, then we are the best partner in the business to predict when you're going to be out of stock. The last thing I will say is that that's really helpful for predictive AI. I don't want to forget about generative AI, which is the world of ChatGPT. And that's where things like listing and optimizing your PDP is important too. And where I think we're going to go in the future to round out the suite is really starting to get into pricing recommendations, which include a component of predictive AI too. You can look at your peer set, see how everyone's pricing, and then also see what likely changes there are going to be based on historical patterns, and to be able to make that prediction of when you should lower, when you should raise, when you should match. And that's going to be really powerful as well.
It's interesting to see the difference as the need for AI grows, the understanding of the different aspects of AI grows as well. You go back a year, the difference between generative and predictive AI wasn't a discussion. It was just general AI.
Right.
Now we have the split of AI into different categories. Nonetheless, both are essential. All aspects of AI are essential for people to succeed in the near future.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's important for our customers to succeed is that we as a company have always thought of ourselves that we believe to be an e-commerce company. You know, for 3P sellers, for 1P sellers, but we're an e-commerce company. Whereas a lot of the other players in the retail media space are thinking of themselves as ad tech. And so the difference for us is that we know to be successful in e-commerce, you have to really manage the whole flywheel, which is pricing, listings, inventory, and ads. And so we know that you can't be successful in any one of those four unless you're successful in all four. And so I think that's where you're going to start to see Teikametrics stand out, is really a holistic approach to e-commerce success as opposed to just ad tech.